Okay, we're going to start talking about the fourth beast in Daniel chapter 7. But before I do, I presented the three verses in chapter 7 where Daniel talks about the first three beasts. And we find out that first was like a lion and had eagle wings. This would be the Babylon Empire. And I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and may stand up the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And then the next beast is a second like to a bear, and it raised itself up on one side. This would be the Persian Mede. Persian Mede Empire. And then the fourth beast is seven, and the sixth verse there is, after this I beheld, lo, another like a leopard, which had up on the back of its four wings of a fowl. And the beast has also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. This third beast, in the sixth verse there, is the Greek Empire. Now, throughout the whole chapter 7, this is the only time, these 3 verses are the only time that the other 3 empires was mentioned. The rest of the chapter is dedicated to the fourth beast. And this is what we're going to start looking at, trying to get understanding why I'm saying that that fourth beast is not the Roman Empire. Now, those 3 verses I just gave concerns the first 3 empires, which I said was the Babylon Empire, the Persian Mede Empire, and the Greek Empire. And that's the only 3 verses in the chapter 7 of Daniel that those 3 empires is mentioned. The rest of chapter 7 deals with the fourth beast only. And there's a reason for that. Because the fourth beast, even though many says it's the Roman Empire, we're going to find out it can't be the Roman Empire because it don't fit the descriptions of the Roman Empire. And we're going to find out that this reason that this fourth beast is dealt with in Daniel 7, and the majority of the chapter is dealing with the fourth beast, and there's a reason behind that. It's an end time beast, and as we learn more about the end time beast in these videos, you will find out that there's no way it can be the Roman Empire. Now, I can't mention that it's not no way it can be the Roman Empire, because I'm trying to point out that the people that believe it's the Roman Empire is wrong. At one time I believed that too, but I know that I'm wrong now. And the evidence I will present in these videos, I hope to be able to prove that I am wrong, and that you all can see the evidence too and agree with me. Now let's look at these scriptures here. Daniel 7:7. After this I saw in the night vision, behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. And it had great teeth, it devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Now get that now, 10 horns. The Roman Empire never at any time in history had 10 horns. And these 10 horns actually, these 10 horns is mentioned in Psalms 83. But the names that's given in Psalms 83 is the ancient names back in those days. But when you get those names and get an ancient map and lay it down together with the modern map today, you will find out that those 10 horns, it actually covers the names of those 10 horns, or 10 nations in Psalms 83, actually covers the area, the Muslim nation that surrounds Israel today. Okay, so like I said, Rome never did have 10 horns. This is end time beast. Daniel seen this beast too, and he saw it coming out of the sea. And the beast he saw had 10 horns and 7 heads. Now, the Bible is a progressive revelation. That means that you have to keep on reading along in the Bible on the same subject, and John gives us a little bit more information on this end time beast, and which we'll look at the 7 heads and all that when we get in Revelation. Now, the 8th verse says this, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Now we get down here and um okay, the 24th verse says this, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be divorced from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. Now, between these two verses, we find out that this one horn that came out of 10 horns is actually a man. And this will be the Antichrist. Now, as I said, Rome never had 10 horns. And it never did have one man come out of the Roman Empire that ruled the world. And that would be the 10 nations. Any nation that was in the Roman Empire, one man ruled. And of course, somebody might say, well, that was the Pope. But you got to remember, when the Pope come along, which was in the 1st century A.D., or the 2nd century A.D., you find out that Rome still didn't have 10 horns. And this man comes out of the 10 horns. And I say this man is Antichrist. And I say this man will be the Muslim Mahdi, which we will look at later and talk about later. And the 9th verse says this, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like fiery flame, and his wheel was burning fire. So these thrones, these empires, continue until the Ancient of Days, which is Christ, comes and set up his millennial kingdom. And we realize that the beast in Revelation is 10 horns, 7 heads, and that beast will be cast into the lake of fire, as we will look at here in just a few minutes. So we find out that this empire, this 4th beast, will last until Christ returns. The Roman Empire is gone. It's dissolved back there. It was destroyed in 1500 something by the Ottoman Empire. And the Ottoman, Ottoman, I think. It's either A-N or E-M. I'm Ottoman. Yeah, A-M. Okay, that is the Islamic Empire. And that empire is what destroyed what was left of the Roman Empire. And so here we got the base is not the Roman Empire, so far as I've been proven down through here. Okay, now the 11th verse says this, I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even to the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. And now, 11th verse shows us 2 things. First of all, go in Revelation 19:20, you'll find out that that 10-horned beast, which is the Antichrist, and the false prophet, they both was cast into the lake of fire. And they was cast in the lake of fire alive. They did not die and then be cast in the lake of fire. They was cast alive in the lake of fire. And so we get there, we show, and Rome never was cast alive in the lake of fire. Rome was never cast alive in the fire at all, I mean. And so here again we find out it can't be Rome, because this beast will continue until it was slain and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. And the 23rd verse shall say, it is says thus he said, the 4th beast shall be 4th kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And so we find out the fourth kingdom is the beast is the 4th kingdom upon the world, and he shall devour the whole world. Now Rome never did devour the whole world. We do have Muslims in every country today. And so we know that Muslims, one of their desires is one of those teachings is, of their religion is, it should be all Muslims' goal to conquer the world for their so-called God, Allah. But they have different ways of doing that. Not all Muslims are terrorists. And some of them believe in conquering the world through ads, TV, books, and stuff like that. And even in our modern day age, they get up on the internet, Facebook, and all that, and trying to get converts to Islam. And that's how they believe in conquering the world. They don't believe in going out here killing people and all that. But there's a few that does too. So we got Islam is all over the world, but now the Roman Empire is not over the world. Now some might say, well, some of the things that was in the Roman Empire, like the days of the week and all that, was in the Roman Empire. Yeah, that's true. But the Roman Empire itself is gone. And the Islamic Empire, which was the Ottoman Empire, as we learn more about later, was a head that was ruined, but it is not gone. Islam is still alive, and it is coming back. It is being revived now. Okay. And the 25th verse. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given to his hand until time and times and the dividing time. The times and the dividing time is 3.5 years. And to illustrate this, let's say, for instance, they want to say 5.5 years. So they would say time and times and times and the dividing time. The time singular is 1 year, times is 2 years, and times again is 2 years. That'll be 4 years and 5 years, and the dividing time would be a half a year. So we can get 5.5 years by putting another times in there. I'm just giving that as an illustration to show you why it is 3.5 years. And also in the book Revelation, you find out that it's 3.5 years too. Okay, now this verse here can have a spiritual meaning and a literal meaning. Now the spiritual meaning is that, and I know this amongst Christians and atheists, Bible critics, what you want to call them, Muslims, and they think to change times. In other words, that's history. I've seen Muslims and Christians both will create history, trying to prove a point, and when you ask them for evidence, particularly the Christians, they'll just tell you. The Muslims won't even answer you when you ask for the evidence, but the Christians, they will tell you, said, well, I know there ain't no historical data right now, but it's out there. It just ain't been found because this is what I understand the Bible to mean, and since this is what I understand it to mean, there has to be history out there someplace to prove my point. But that don't work, because as far as I'm concerned, that's just your opinion. And until that history data, which it never will be, is discovered, well then the point is worthless. And then the atheists or Bible critics, they do use history. I have to say that, but they do not go as far back in history. They only go up. They use the history that they think proves that the Bible is false, because the Bible makes a statement, but yet in history this only happened then. They don't go back farther in history and find out that some of the stuff that they say just happened that one time happened actually earlier too, which is a different thing I'm not going to get into on all this right now, because this is not the subject of the movie. Okay, and the laws, they changed the laws. Well, particularly atheists and Christians does the same thing, and they will tell you that you cannot depend upon history being correct, because it's all man-made. In other words, man's understanding of history, and they really don't know for sure what happened back there in history. But yet those same people will turn around and use history themselves to prove a point, which the history they use will be is true, trying to prove a point, but they're just twisting a little bit to prove a point. But the point I'm making here is that while they're telling you that history can't be trusted, they'll turn around and use history for themselves if they think it suits them to in proving their point. That's a spiritual thing. Now, those rules that historians use to determine what is history, true history, and what isn't. And and Bible critics and Christians and Muslims both try to destroy those rules and saying that, and they say that is the reason that you cannot trust history, because we really don't know what happened because we wasn't living back then. But in the natural now, okay, in the natural, it says they would think to change times and laws. And any place, when you study history itself about Islam and the lands they conquer, they change the time. Now, Muslims has a calendar. To them, that's a calendar, and any other calendar is false. So anytime they conquer a land, that calendar was done away with, and the Muslim calendar was inserted into that land. And the laws, any laws, if Muslims was to conquer the United States, all of our laws would be done away with, and we would be underneath the Muslims' laws, and we would have to obey their laws no matter what. Our laws will not count because they will tell you it's not laws of Allah, it's man-made laws. And so this is what it's talking about. Every time they conquer a land, back in history, they change the laws, the rules in that land, the laws, the government, everything was changed, including the calendar. And that's what will be happening. This Antichrist here will be changing the laws as he conquers the nations. Their laws will be discontinued, and his laws will be the only one that will be valid, and they will have to live by his laws. Now, I'm hoping that what I'm given right now is that you can understand it. And like I said, at the end of each video, you'll be able to make comments and either express your opinion, express your disagreement, whatever. But like I said, when you disagree, well, then you need to give your reason why, and your reason needs to be valid facts or unproven, facts that cannot be disputed, because true facts is based on true evidence. And this is what your comments got to be based upon. Otherwise, if it's just your opinion, it's just your opinion. And as far as I'm concerned, opinions don't work. Now, at the end of this video, when I get the next video going and post it, I will have a link to the next video. Like I said, I'm putting these links at the end of each video to the next one, because I feel that will be best for y'all to start with the first video and then work your way through each video, because if you don't, it will be hard for you to understand everything I'm saying in this. And I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your watching this video.